don't touch it. Okay, there's two in this country. Death Cab and Destroying Angel. Okay, they both are in this country. I haven't seen one yet, but they normally grow on their own, isolated in ditches. I see them normally. One's got the Death Cap is green, slimy top, and they both smell of potatoes. Don't eat them. And they've got a white gill with a viola at the bottom with a ring round the outside. And the other one, we call her the Angel of the Night. That's why it's called Destroying Angel. They're pure white. They stand out like a pink, a red and black snooker ball on a table full of red. It does stand out. You can spot it. Okay. Now the other thing with plants and fungi, if you know. Now I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I've got a keen interest in survival. That's what I would like to say. Okay, so if you know, you can't really learn it from a book. You need someone to point this stuff out to you that knows. Go to a reputable person. You've got a guy here actually. I think I'm dead sure his name's Marcus. He's down there, and I'm sure it's the one with the yellow Jeep. If you need to know a bit more, please pop in. But all I'm giving you rough tips. Okay, I'm not going to go in depth with it because it's too much. Go on.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, get that.
So there's others like the symptoms for Death Cab and Destroying Angel are delirium, sickness, very bad cramps, and it lasts for about 2 to 3 days, and then you usually recover. And all the time it's attacking your vital organs, your kidneys. In the end, it's just renal shutdown. There's no known antidote for them two, as far as I've been told. And I have asked the best in the world, in the country, Lofty, and he's explained to me about it as well. Same as my dad. So you need to make sure that you do know them. I see a lot of this where people pick stuff and they're not 100% sure. And they put it in their mouth. Just, I don't know, I got gives me the goosebumps when people do that, because you don't know what's been on the plants and stuff. You need to prepare them like you do at home. Wash them, boil them, treat them, and then, you know, and there is a, you know, there's a state of effect where you've got certain bits. Look, anything on a tree 4 foot high and above, that's got fungi on, or you know, you can usually, as long as it's positive ID. Now I've seen yesterday when I was doing a shout with Rich, there's a tree stump 50 yards over there that's got chicken in the woods on. Very tasty, but people tend to just take the whole lot, cut the freshest stuff off and leave it because you know it's there next year. What people tend to do is they go along and pick the whole thing. What best to take the sections you need, leave it for another day, because you're bound to be hungry again and you'll want it again. Okay. The other.
Chris, the
yes.
one proviso with that.
Yeah.
Chicken of the woods is fine. Some people have an allergic reaction
They
to
do.
it if it's not cooked well enough.
Yeah.
The other thing is, don't eat it if it's growing on you, because it takes on the
I was
poisonous.
going to say that. I was just going to say that because somebody did ask me about that, and I wasn't sure, so I rang Lofty. Spoke to my dad. He says ring Lofty. Rang Lofty, and he used to have a botanist. And if Lofty didn't know, he'd speak to this lady, and she'd tell him. There was a guy I knew at Kew that told me about you, and he said to me, "Don't." I said, "That's what I was going to ask you." So yeah, I know if it's a tree that's you don't. It's a no.
Just thought I'd mention that,
Yeah,
because
no,
it's
a great
fine on
point.
most of the other trees, but
It
not on
is.
you.
Yeah. So Taxus baccata, in other words, you red berries, they're bad, so leave them. But the other two which you'll find is the fly agaric, or the ones that are pure white with a red orange top with white little dots on. They cause muscarine poisoning, which affects your nervous system. Okay. Listen, I'm only going brief on this because what I don't want to do is, there's a guy down there that probably, you know, he's really good at it, I believe, so let him. It's only what I've been told off my dad and Lofty and stuff, so, you know, it's hands thing. It's not. I'm good at what I do, but I don't class myself as an expert on any of this. Okay, so The other one is panther cap. It looks brown, white shank. It's got a grill round it, and they grow in patches. Normally round silver birch trees. They cause the same thing, musgreen. The Boletus type fungus, there's called a devil's Boletus, which is a big, looks like a penny bun, but it's big, it's red. Yes?
It's actually a completely different question, is that alright?
Yeah.
You may already have covered this because I came a little bit late, but
Sorry,
I
love.
wondered,
Yeah.
so don't go over it if
No,
you have.
go on.
I
I will, I mean,
in
you're
terms
here.
of the little kit,
Yes.
what's the kind of basics of sort of fishing kit? I'm sure you did cover that.
Yeah, I did. It's just, you can buy them in shops if you're interested. They do a basic little kit with hooks and a few weights and some 10 metres of line. The best thing to do is tie the line to the stick, sharpen one end, and then bash it in with a little bat that you're going to find another stick that's bigger. Whack that into the side of the bank. But the way to do it is don't point it this way towards the lake. Point it this way, so when the fish pulls, it won't pull it into the, because you don't know what you're going to get. Is that okay? And just bait it with anything you can find. Grasshoppers. I know I don't like killing anything, I'm telling you now, but when you're in a survival situation, you'll do whatever you need to catch that. Does that help? Is that okay? Thank you. It's great. So, you know, so you're covering that. The devil's bleed is a big type of fungus. It's got a bulbous root, bright red, and it stains bluey colour.
When you say stains, you talking about staining your finger? What are you going to stain?
You stick it with you know, you whack it with a stick. You know, you poke it. Poke the fun. If you're not sure, the other way to do it is to cut it down the middle, and it opens up. In the middle, you've got like a triangle, and if that stains them 4 colours, don't touch it.
So you're talking about the mushroom itself rather than
Yeah.
staining paper or...
Yeah. When a mushroom stains, it opens up, and you'll get like a stain. You prod it with a stick, wait, and see if it stains a colour. Stains,
Bruise.
yeah, bruise. That's it. Sorry, bruise. Red, yellow, blue, and white. And if it does, or if it oozes that colour, I'd suggest you leave it, unless it's positive ID. Okay. So I don't. On the courses I do, I haven't done the actually this year. It's been good. I've had a whole year being free. We do plant and fungi, sort of, not a fungi test, but a plant walk, and you come away with 10 plants, and we ask you at the end of the course to go out and pick them. You know, some people get it wrong. That's why we ask you to write everything down, because it's in your memory. Then you draw it, write it down. If you've got any questions, I'm there. Yeah, okay, this is that. We've had people pick foxglove instead of primroses when they're young. Although primroses are protected, so I tell them not to touch them. But we've had people bring back foxglove and stuff. It's been quite amazing. But it's not their fault. It's because they thought it was the same as and they've got tired. And like I said before, when you get tired, your memory's going to lapse. Okay. Anyway, so we've gone on to bits of fungi. Now you're interested in worms, snails, grubs. Yeah. A worm it's got amino acids and stuff, so just squeeze the inner out. You can dry it on a rock by the fire and crunch it up. There's none of this rubbish about, oh, I'm going to eat the worm. What is it? It just makes it, I wouldn't want to eat the worm. So what I do is I squeeze it out, put it by a stone, get a stick, crush it up, put it into a cup of boiling water, and it's soup. Oh, you know, what we wouldn't. Oh, I eat a worm. Well, what for? So that's what I do. That's it. Adds. So what you've got. Listen, when you're out in a situation, you've got this pan. You're adding stuff to this pan. You're boiling the water, and it's turning green. So you're adding nettles and stuff. And then you want. Oh, I want to thicken it up with stuff. So you find stuff like. You might find a bit of chicken in the woods or whatever. I must tell you though, there is no edibility test for fungi. If anyone says there is, just, I don't know. Thank you. I was going to say something else, but don't believe them because there is no edibility test for fungus. It's positive ID or else you leave it alone. Plants, there's an edibility test. What you do with a plant, you grab a plant, you squeeze it. You've got senses. Squeeze it, rub it on the inside of your wrist, which is quite sensitive. If you wait 5 minutes, if you come out with a rash or it starts lumping or anything, discard it. If it doesn't, move this to somewhere sensitive, the side of your neck or the edge of your lips. Do the same test, wait 5 minutes. It's a long old process, this. So you're going to, you know, by the time you're finished, you'll be on the floor, won't you? I want something to eat. I haven't got it yet because I don't know whether it's damn edible. So you do the same process. If there's any stinging, irritant, discard it. Put it on your tongue. Wait 5 minutes. Don't swallow it, please. Wait 5 minutes. Same process. Any nausea or anything, get rid of that plant and you can consider it, you know, bad. If it's not, put it under your tongue, the lymph gland about just under there. Put it down there, wait, again, nothing, swallow it. Now the idea is, you've got this fire going, and in this fire you've got charcoal, you've got white potash. Use it for medical. If you get sick, use the white potash to settle your stomach, okay? If you get, charcoal absorbs fluids, poisons. So if you get a poison and you're not sure about it, crush up a small amount of charcoal in a small bit of water and swallow it. Yes, you are gonna throw up, okay, but it will absorb a lot of the toxins that are in your body, and the best way to flush it out is to use boiling water. Boil the water, let it cool down, and then use the warm water.